Well, dear students, are this is the third clip. In the second clip, we expressed about essay, a body of the essay, mean introduction, thesis statement, development, relevant paragraph, and conclusion. Well, in this video, we'll cover the different modes and types of essays. Fine. There are many more types of essays, but the majors are narrative, descriptive, expository, and argumentative. There are other types also: cause and effect, compare and contrast, problem solving essays, scientific essays, science fictional essays. So there is a galaxy of essay writing techniques and types. Why learning of these modes and techniques is mandatory for the writers and especially the students? These techniques and modes are quite handy for the students to write in different situations and demands. Fine. Somewhere we have to express the case studies, explore the history. There we use narrative to describe phenomena, functions, theories, laws, algorithms by their usefulness, other qualities and traits we have to describe, so we write descriptive. Exposition is used where you are debating on some topic and exposing it, explaining it, comparing it, and developing it for the other people and imparting new ideas. That is called expository and argumentative writing. Similarly, there are persuasive writing, that you have to attract the people to do something or not to do something. That very approach is called persuasive. These techniques and styles and approach are mandatory for the people, for especially the students and aspirant to the government sector and high official jobs and vacancies. For example, in CSS, there is a full length essay, 100 marks. You have to write according to the length of 3500 to 4000 words. Fine. Mean 4000, 3500 words to a length of the 400 words or so. Similarly, students appearing in IELTS, TOEFL, and other international certifications where English is the basic demand, they have to write essays. Ideally, all types of approach are welcomed. Thereby, a student must understand the techniques of essay writing. Secondly, I also expressed in the previous discussions many times that essay writing is the first step to write scientifically and academically in the research and other content writing for the sites and technology writing. Thereby, a student must be very much well versed and trained in these techniques because they become the foundation stones. Well, let's analyze one by one these topics. Narrative essay. Narration means story. You all are well aware that telling some phenomena or case study with the help of stories, incidents, characters, timeline, that mode of writing is called narrative writing. Fine. Let's see. Narration means telling a story from a certain viewpoint, and there is usually a reason for telling. Main point of view. All narrative essays have characters, setting, a climax, and most importantly, a plot. They are more fiction-oriented essay, but normally when you are describing case studies, there we simply use, for example, your teacher asks, "How have you means designed this app?" You say that firstly, I was very interested in iOS development. Later on, at university, I met with a teacher who was very good, and he urged me to get into the field. I decided, I took admission in BIIT and started learning computer sciences. Initially, it came to be very hectic, but later on, it became very interesting. It appeared interesting for me. Finally, when the final project came, I asked the teacher that now it's time to help me. He gave me this topic. So this is, although relevant to the computer sciences, but it's a personal account of some person. Fine. Thereby, it is a form of a story. It is taking the flavor of the story. Fine. So you find that I came here and I took admission, and the teacher helped me out. All this is in kind of story. Well, it other main points about this are: include sensory and emotional details so the reader will experience the story, not just read about it. I mean, you have to include the personal and emotional details, but it is more personal. In science, we do not much personalized. We have to be very much objective. Allow the story to support the main point you are making and make reference to that point of view in the first sentence. That you have to also generate the topic, sentence, and the point of view. Right? In the first or third person, as obviously stories are written in the first or the third person. For example, you are writing about the development of Microsoft. So you have definitely tell that the main person behind all this extraordinary success is Bill Gates, who used to be a university student at Harvard, but unfortunately was expelled due to certain reasons. He lost the university, but did lost the heart and mind. He decided to work on a significant innovative project. So this is what a third person. Bill Gates is a third person. Fine. There are other examples of the narrative essay. Read this paragraph. Looking back on the childhood filled with events and memories, I find it rather difficult to pick one that leaves me with the fable, warm and fuzzy feelings. As the daughter of an Air Force major, I had the pleasure of traveling across America in many moving trips. I visited the monstrous trees to the national forest, stood on the edge of the Grand Canyon, and have jumped on the beds at the Caesar's Palace in Lake Theo. What is? It is all the narrative tone. Moving further, you must read those above examples. Descriptive essay. Descriptive essays describe your idea, person, place, things by image building details. Fine. Describe the traits and characters of the people, objects, events, and feelings in the intricate details. Clear? For example, you have to write the details about their color, size, appearance, fragrance, price, and many other things. Let's read this. Like this twisted feathers, his many scars, the reliable old owl choose the gnarled, weather beaten, but the solid branch often, it being a companion to the wise alone with the night, and the last branch to creak in the heaviest wind. Well, these words, if you look at although the text is a bit hard for most of the students because it is written in American style of writing, but it is all the description about the owl, that the face of owl and the appearance of owl, clear the manner it screeches and all others. Well, you will be amazed that in what context you can use the descriptive in scientific writing. Remember that descriptive is the basic essence of the scientific writing. For example, you are talking about iOS technology. What's an iOS technology, when it developed, and what it includes, how can it be beneficial for the people? This is all the descriptive. When you are explaining, for example, I'm explaining about, if I have to explain this screen, entire screen, I have to decide it, that this is the front screen, fine, it has these, it contains the following buttons, fine, and if I click on this button it makes me like this and that. This is all called descriptive. Thank you very much.